Welcome, Being the Woman. I've been a radio host for about 5 years and counting. And if there's one thing that I have taken time to study, is the voice. First, when I started radio broadcasting, my voice was not particularly there. It sounded so tiny and not sweet. I had to work on it because that's the tool we communicate with. We were told that every time someone listens to you, the first thing that they hear is your voice before they start listening to any other thing that you have to say. So I had taken time to work on my talking voice. I'm still working on it. Getting aspects of the voice that is amazing. Vocally. But over time, I found out that your voice is much more than vocal confidence. It's much more than what we can hear. It's even deeper when it's what we cannot hear. So I discovered that there's something called internal confidence. There's something called your internal voice. It's the part we don't see, the part we don't hear, the part we do not know about, that part that struggles with you when you're alone, that part that tells you cannot do this, that part that tells you to people please, the part that tells you to be afraid, to be scared, to run from conflict, the part that tells you that you need validation to feel okay. So when we talk about healing your voice, it's much more than coming out to talk to public and you sound clear, confident. That's a part of it and it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But there's something about your inner voice that when you find it, it would be much more important than even just speaking to a crowd and you think you're confident or you know what you're saying. It's an internal healing that happens to you or with you first inside of you. In 2023, I started something called the voice training and elocution class. It was a training targeted to helping people heal their voices to communicate effectively. So what we did first was we held classes where people would learn the ropes of finding their voice to speak up. So what we did were we sort of created structures and strategies to help people speak confidently. Or this is what you're going to do to speak confidently. We'll train your vocals to sound better. So I could note when someone isn't talking real, you know how they're talking from their neck or their chest voice, but talking right from your stomach is where the air comes out completely for you to express yourself. And I always say that your voice is one of the most powerful tools that you have. In this sense, voice being vocal and voice being you. So when we talk about voice, it's like a sword, the two sides of a sword, where you have the vocal, your vocal ability, and then we have you, your voice being who are you. You know, we talk a lot about who are you, who exactly are you, and we want pointed out to, you must be someone who's found purpose. You must be someone who's able to express themselves confidently. You must be someone who knows exactly what they want. As great as that sounds, it's kind of what your voice truly means, because the internal finding of your voice would help the external vocal capability of your voice. Can I say that again? Oh, why am I sounding like a motivational speaker? This is no motivation. This is real life. The internal finding of you, your voice, will enable the vocal capability. So if you don't find that internal voice, I think that the vocal confidence or the vocal show would suffer. So when I talk about healing your voice, something comes to mind. And one of those things is, what are your past experiences? What are those things you've been exposed to in your formative years that has captured your voice? By capture, you know how a prisoner is, someone is captured and made a prisoner, so locked up somewhere. So your voice is just somewhere where it lacks expression. Something happened to me about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, yes. A group of students came for excursion. No, pupils, because I think they were they're like in primary school. They came for excursion. They came into the recording studio because I work on the radio. They came to the recording studio. The producer was telling them about everything that we do at the radio station, how the recording studio works. And there was this pretty girl. I'm going to put her picture here. Oh, she's so pretty girl. And she asks the producer, "Who's that lady?" She was talking to me. She was talking to me. She pointed at me. The producer said, "Queen Chima." And she said, "I like her." I looked at the girl and I was like, why do you like me? She said, I think you're pretty and you have a beautiful smile. That made me feel good. Trust me. I mean, a young, pretty girl looking at you and saying, I like you. I didn't say anything. I did not have a conversation with her. I was just on my phone preparing for a program. And then she said that made me feel good. But what I thought about was how that girl was able to express herself, which is something a lot of kids, or maybe kids who never grew up in love, struggle to do. How many children do you see stand up for themselves, speak up? There are kids who, if anyone molests them, they are going to speak up. If anyone treats them badly, they are going to tell their parents. And that's some level of confidence. That's some level of voice expression. And by voice, I mean you. Because some people struggle to tell their kids, if anybody does something to you, make sure you tell me. Don't let anyone intimidate you. I'm here for you. I'm going to stand for you. And they've never created that safe space for their kids to ever tell them anything. It's like whatever you're saying is your business, because the child doesn't know exactly how they're going to express themselves to you because they've never done it. They've never found their voice. In fact, you hid or killed that voice as a parent. I admired her that I had to take a picture with her. I wish I'm still in contact with her, like I got her mom's number or something. I'd like her to be my little friend, but maybe, who knows, we could catch up one time, anytime in this world. God has a way of doing things, and I trust him about that. Another thing that happened to me was 1 week after, I have this group of young people who come on a show called Cruise Control. And the guy who organizes them, he had brought in some people to the studio, and there was this girl who apparently he didn't give the right direction to come to the studio. She gets into the studio and she was like, Danny boy, why would you do this to me? I was looking for this place all over. I've been calling, you're not picking. She was mad. And I liked her. She was tall. She looked pretty, that pretty. I was just looking at her. She got into the studio and she was like, I don't like what you did. She expressed herself and I said I liked it. Because you also know that there are people who fear conflict. They fear conflict. They cannot express their pain. They cannot tell you that they are hurt. Like, you just cannot find yourself telling someone you're hurt. Even when you're hurt, you swallow it because maybe you've been faced with so much conflict growing up that conflict scares you. At the sound of the word conflict, you just want to run. It's either it has to get ended now because I cannot handle it. That's your voice hid. So when I talk about healing your voice, I mean getting into parts of you that lacked expression as a child. You know, maybe you grew up in a home where you were consistently shut. What do you know? Shut up. Shut up. What do you want to say? Shut up, Joe. Did anyone ask you to sit down there and not say anything? Mommy, shut up. What do you want to say? Parents don't know how much they're harming their kids when they do that. That happens. Or you grew up in a home where there was no one to talk to because the people who were your parents or guardian didn't have your time. They were so busy with work or busy quarreling and fighting that they never saw your needs. So your voice lacked expression. These are formative years of children that pretty much grows up with them into adulthood and affects even the way that they relate with people in their space, in their sphere, and in their world. Or you grew up with just the parents. Maybe your father was absent or your mother, and your father didn't quite see so much of you. You were not seen. Nobody was seeing you. And seeing you, I mean seeing you for real, because seeing a child or seeing someone is much more than providing for them. It's knowing how they feel, how actions and inactions make them feel, how it makes them react to the world. Some people pretty much didn't have that. I know that as you grow into adulthood, experiences begin to teach you, begin to relate with people, you begin to learn and unlearn, relearn. However, some people get neck deep into finding their voice even into their 20s and into their 30s. And so healing your voice is important. I'm going to share steps for you to heal your voice and find it, because I went through that journey and here I am. While I love my voice, I mean vocal, I like the sound of my voice, the texture of my voice. I just don't like that. I like my voice, and I mean me. There were parts of me that I found out about. There were things I didn't like, and I began to heal and become a better person whose voice she likes. I don't cringe at the sound of my voice. I don't cringe that I know what I want right now. I know how much my voice can be expressed. That's a big win for me. And from there, I can move on to so much more that I want for myself. So I now know when to speak up. I'm sorry, I don't like this thing you just said. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not ready to talk about this. I'm not scared. I don't people please. I don't need validation. That's a lot of healing, right? And most importantly, I can now express myself. I can tell you, okay, this is how I feel about this. This is exactly what it is. That's such level of awareness that your voice needs, that you need. And that's healing your voice. So one of the ways to heal your voice, the first thing I would recommend to you is to ask yourself, what are things about me that nobody knows? And I know, just me, I'm not proud of them. And I'd never like to talk to anybody about it. What are those things? Get a journal. Get a journal and write them all out. Write it. Know about it. Interact with it and get to the point where you're comfortable with it. Do you know why I'm saying this? There are things about you that you could have been involved in and it's in your past or something, and you don't want anyone knowing about it, and you don't really want anyone knowing about it. Even you've hid it from yourself that you don't know everything about it. So find out about it. Get a journal, write about it, write them so out. It's like you're itemizing them. You get so clear about it that after writing it, you say, okay, this is it. This is how it happened. This is how it happened. Just know it and own that story. I'm not saying go around sharing it to the world. You know when it's necessary to talk about it, but get to know it first. The second thing I want you to do is pick up the habit of journaling. Every day when you come back, write something about your day, your experience, something that you happened to you, if you liked it or not, if it was a good experience or not, just write it. Pour your heart to that journal, telling it what your day was like, if you had fun or not, if you interacted with someone did something you didn't like, how you reacted to it. Do that with your journal. I'm going to share this one. And I know there's some very introverted people who run away from the camera. I don't want to talk to the camera. Oh, I don't want to talk to people. It may be hard for you, but if you find yourself seldom interact with other people, you can pick up your phone and try recording. So you could do something that I'm doing now. Put your phone somewhere and just talk to the lens of your camera and look into the lens of your camera and just express yourself. Now, it's like journaling, but journaling is different when you write with a pen and paper. It's way different. I'm going to share in another video why that is important and how study shows that helps you heal your voice. But talking to your camera would also help you stand up for yourself. I once had a student with a girl, or I had a class with a student who her former boss had talked down at her so much that she lost herself. When she got a new job and that job expected her to do presentations, it was hard for her to express herself because she felt she wasn't good enough. She couldn't do it. Something had happened inside of her. Something died inside of her with her former boss who'd always talk down at her like she knew nothing and she would never amount to anything. So what we had to do was take her through strategies to healing her voice. And now she's doing amazing. I am so happy about that. Then, I already said journaling, right? And speaking into the lens of your camera. Learn to speak up even in small moments. Like you're with a group of people and they're talking, you're listening. While you listen, learn to speak up. It could be just something minute. You could just make your contribution. In fact, I encourage that you argue with people, have conversations. When you have conversations, it tells you a lot about yourself. Sometimes I go back and look at some of my videos here on YouTube or videos that I have made, and I sort of find out stuff about me that I don't even know about because, words are not just words. They're an expression of what's inside of you. And so when you say certain things, sometimes did I say that? Trust me, 4 years, 5 years after now, you go back to some things you have said, you'll be like, oh, nah, I should have done this better because you have grown. So going back as referencing stuff that you do is a way to grow and learn. Speak up in small moments. Then if you think you had a traumatic growing up that was tough, I would encourage therapy. Yes. Therapy would help you talk. Psychotherapy, talking, you go into parts of you that are really deep and you begin to unravel things that have happened to you in the past that you were never proud of or there were really tough moments. This will absolutely help you. Just a way to wrap up. Your voice is not just vocal. It's your powerhouse. It's you. And learning to find it is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. Do you know what it would feel like when you find out that you can stand up for yourself? You can speak up for yourself. It's liberating. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helped you, and I hope that you're going to try everything that I've recommended. This is a channel that explores the journey of a woman who's made up her mind to evolve and be all of God's best. Now, do well to subscribe to this channel. Share this video to your friends, women community, sister, mother, just any woman you like in your life. Share this video with them, and turn on the notification too so you can get alerts when I put out a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye.